I don't think it was. Twitch, tell me if this is working. It looks like it probably is. Hello? Or not? Nope, it is working. Alright. Hello. It's gonna be distracting. Go away. Hello, so my name's Tails. I do play a lot of games just for fun, and I figured I'd try streaming some of them. So today we're playing Factorio, and I have, I think, a Grandmaster plan. Well, as you can see, I'm starting out from absolute scratch, so it's going to take a while to get to that stage. But overall, my plan is to try and build a mega base using this blueprint. Which is a blueprint of 1,000 cars and I think it's 25 engines. And try and actually get it to work. Oh. Nope. Scratch that. Apparently that one doesn't have any trains on it. I'll have to go get a new one. Yeah. So yeah, that is my final plan. Now as for how long it'll take me to get there, it'll be a little while. But it should be good fun when it does. So yeah, I figured I'd pick this game mostly because I can play it well enough to effectively tutorialize it, and therefore the whole trying to carry on speaking on stream shouldn't be too bad. So yeah. For me, I always just start off with trying to get coal, although to do that you need to get some wood going first. Because you need steel, or iron I should say, to make at least 2 miners. So yeah, it doesn't take too long usually. So in fact I probably already have enough. Yes, I do. I have 18. And basically I do that just to secure a fuel source first. There's no real benefit other than that. But yeah. Of course, the miners take a little bit of stone for their furnaces. 5 on each, so I want 10 total. Yeah, we'll get there. 10. Let's make those 2. My coal is down here somewhere. Alright, simple trick. Point them towards each other, put a bit of fuel in each of them. And it'll burn that bit of fuel, and then start filling up with coal in an infinite loop. Which gives you an infinite source of coal. Effectively. After this, I'm going to target trying to expand the number of iron... There. Think brain. Yeah. The number of iron miners and burnt furnaces we've got to increase that production. But to do that, we need a little bit of stone to make 1 more miner. Which will just make a touch of stone. Not very much at all. Just 1 stack will do. So I do have a few mods on. One of which you've just seen, Long Reach. When I get to the Mega Base stage of this thing is going to be absolutely huge, because one of those trains takes about 4,000 tiles to put in a straight line. So I've tried this before, and I needed a 10,000 squared area on the map to do it sensibly. And it'll take me forever just to run around, so I figured I'd save everybody the pain of that. To do it. Other mods? What other mods do I have? One sec, while I look at what's in the folder. So I'm afraid of the dark. A little bit that's just to help you, but a little bit that's to help me. Automatic train painter. Don't need it, but I love it. There's really no benefit to it. Absolutely any at all. Like I said, for me, I just really enjoy it. It just makes things look a little bit nicer, and especially, it's not really going to affect me on this map, but if you have a lot of trains, it can make them a little bit easier to tell what the hell's going on. Beautiful railway bridges. Effectively, those allow me to put train track over the top of water. I do it just because I think it looks nicer than planting a huge amount of landfill across just to make railway lines. And as I said, it's not really possible because of how long these trains are. Trying to get them around every single obstacle would be impossible. Because I think there's 200 carriages between locomotives, and that's what my planned station length is going to be. So I'll end up going over large amounts of water a lot. Yeah. What else do I have? I have some better power armor and things like that, which just gives you more inventory slots and more what are they called? The armor slots, whatever they're called. Yeah. And then additional to that, I've got better exoskeletons, better fusion reactors, and better roboports. All with the goal of just improving things. Right. I need more coal. Where's my coal? Right, what other ones do I have? Yeah, that's definitely one that could classify as bit cheaty, is I have big cargo wagons and big fluid wagons on, so they're twice the size of your standard ones. Where do I stand on that? Nowhere really. It's just considering how often these trains are going to run, like I'm going to try and get to 5,000 science a minute. So if you have 200 per stack, there's 40 in a standard cargo wagon, times 1,000, divided by 5. Gives you 8 million in a standard train. So divide that by 5,000 a minute, means you've got 1,600 minutes, or about 27 hours between the trains actually running. So effectively all I've done is double that. And yeah, I may use them, I may not use them. When it actually gets to it, because it is quite a ridiculous amount. And that doesn't even account for the fact that the white science is of course 10 times that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. I've got Disco Science on because it looks pretty. No other reason than that. I have the Reach one, which we've already talked about. I have mini loaders on. I've done that for performance purposes. the game, unsurprisingly, doesn't like having thousands and thousands of train cars in it. It appears to handle up to about 14,000 alright. After that, it tends to get a bit funky. Yeah, a little bit funky. Like, I think I had 20,000 in it once, and my average game tick was at 4 just ambiently with them on the map for the trains, not even them moving. And as soon as they moved, it doubled, which unsurprisingly killed the frame rate when I was trying to run thousands of items a minute. Well, hundreds of thousands of items a minute and thousands of sciences a minute around. So it kind of killed the game initially, which sucks slightly, because I thought I was doing quite well at it. I was going overall very well at it. Yeah, so the mini loaders exist in the way that basically I can replace... Oh, actually, I should probably explain the other one I've got. More belts, I think is one of the one. Yep, ultimate belts. Basically, more transportation belts. If I go into here, should be able to tell you exactly how many. So these allow it to run at 270 items a minute, which, if memory serves, is, say, significantly higher. Logistics 3 does 45. What have we got? 200. No, that's not the ultimate one. 270. So it's 6 blue belts. My theory being that that means I only have to place down a sixth of the number of them, and that should help save me some some UPS cycles. Yeah. What else do I have? More fusion nanobots. Basically to stop myself from RSIing early game. I don't really intend to use it any further than that. I got larger drills. Oh, and I also have, theoretically, these are on the map. Let's see if we can find one quick. Well, that just generates some stuff. Right. I have the whistle stop factories on. If anybody's not played with those before, basically they're just giant standard factories that run, let's say, larger recipes. If I can find one, I can show you it. But they're placed on the map. You can't make them. I might have made this without them on it to stop them building, and I'll just have to cheat some in later on. But yeah, basically, to match that, I then got the Omega Drill mod on, which allows me to replace yeah, it allows me to replace like thousands of drills with one. I think I've gotten about 40,000 a minute out of one of the drills, which, when you work out into standard drills, even with modules and beacons, just doesn't work out. Yeah, we may have to hang on for finding one of those. Can't find one right now. We'll keep looking for a minute. I got rate calculator on. If none of you have played with that before, no, I can't do it from here. Effectively, if you press Alt-X, you can select a series of buildings, and it'll tell you what the in and out requirements are. Because of the numbers I'm going to be dealing with, and because I'm going to try and do it, certainly end game, very, very efficiently, it's... and there's no real tools around because I'm using all modded items, to try and, as I said, limit the number of things I have to place on the map to save UPS. Yeah, I kind of need it just to be able to, say, efficiently do it. infinite resources. I'm lazy. At the rate I want to pull resources out of the ground, I'd wreck these mines far too quickly. So, yeah, I put infinite resources on. Yeah. Squeak throughs on. There's a little bit of quality of life. I have what's called temporary train stations. This, what did this one do again? So it's an add-on to the now vanilla behavior, where basically when I place a manual station down and have a train go to it, it'll stop at that point and it'll turn to manual. So it allows, basically it just means that the train won't run off somewhere else mid trying to use it. So when we get to the larger sizes, that will probably be quite useful. I think it also allows me to call the train to the nearest location to me, nearest track location to me, which will be hopefully quite useful. Yeah. Okay, I'm giving up looking for these whistle stop factories. Ultimate Belt's already said about warehousing. Again, bigger storage chests. It's just to limit the number of items on the map. Yeah, and that's really all it is. Alright. Let's go collect some resources and actually start building properly, shall we? I do have some other quality of life ones, like the... I don't remember what it's called now. The mod where you... what's it called? Even distribution or something like that? Where you can select multiple items and it will just evenly distribute across all of them. It's useful really early game, but it very quickly becomes quite annoying. So I've turned it off. Oh, sorry, I didn't even put it on in the first place. Yeah, it just doesn't work for me. Alright, what am I doing? I need power, don't I? So yeah, the first thing I always go for after just getting some basic resources is power. To do so, you need a water pump, which is that one. Some boilers. And some steam engines. Effectively, for now you only need one offshore pump. It's up to you how many boilers, but whatever boilers you need twice as many steam engines. And I guess I'll show off the rate calculator in a minute. So as a personal thing with the way I choose to arrange it, need wood for power poles. I always put down... Did I not make all of them? 1, 2. I always put them down in this configuration, so I put the boilers directly in a line, preferably with the minimal distance between the offshore pump and the boiler itself. I then put one steam engine, a space, a pipe in, before the second steam engine. Basically just because it allows me to put a power pole down in the middle. There's loads of different ways, they all come to the same conclusion. You can put the pipe in between the boilers and shuffle these up. The numbers we're dealing with isn't really an issue. But yeah, so this is... I'll just quickly show off the rate calculator. This is it. So I've selected all those machines, and it is telling me I can produce 7,200 water per minute. I believe I'm on per minute. And I require 7,200 water per minute to feed these two boilers at maximum capacity. So yeah, effectively I can then put down 20 of these. So yeah, 20 steam generators. would use up a whole offshore pump. Pretty simple stuff. So yeah. Power pole. I then need to put coal in these so they actually fire. These will fill up with steam, but as I've got no demand on the network, won't actually produce any power right now. My first goal, or my next goal I should say, is to automate feeding coal to that system so I don't have to think about it again. Again, as a bit of a personal thing, I tend to use burner inserters rather than electric inserters as a bit of a backup. It just, to me, it makes it easier. You've got less chance of the system going completely down, which isn't so much of an issue right now. Like, the system isn't even up in the first place. But it's just just makes me feel better, basically. We need 2 of those for now, and I need an awful lot of conveyors. Why are you not placing? No resources there. Okay, let's go this way. You. Alright, now I'll get all those running. So I also need a bunch more power poles. Yeah, this bit's always a bit slow, because let's face it takes a while to make anything. Alright, I guess I'll have a look at the research for a minute. So I should point out, I'm actually running this on a dedicated server. Again, for performance reasons, later on in game, it'll be really, really useful. I'll also probably at some point switch it so it just runs 24/7 rather than pausing when I'm not in the game. Basically in the notion of time, I don't really think it's that interesting to sit here and watch me do nothing for a while waiting for resources to build up. And certainly when we get to later game, that's going to become a thing. Just because of the scale that I'm going to try and build on. Right. So let me just start building. So, yeah, so research. For me, automation, logistics. I've got no biters on in this save. Again, performance reasons later in the game, it's just not worth it. Yeah, so research I'm going to go for automation, logistics to get the splitters, nanobots to save my hands, steel processing because that's kind of the next big thing for green, steel axe because that'll just make my life a little bit easier, and what should I go for? Electronics, and then we'll go green science. So I will probably have to hand make the 30 I require for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 30 I require for that. So for now, I'm just gonna plonk these down. Burner inserters. So they're all set up when they're ready. So I'm instantly going to go and reconfigure the coal system to dump onto conveyors. I'll probably only do some of them for now, since the bulk of this isn't on the conveyors yet. Basically all I do is place these with a gap 4, and then place a conveyor down like that. And then basically this just allows me to auto fuel. So I'm going to put an extra conveyor at the end. There are two reasons for this. One is because these things don't pick up off corners very well. Whereas it will pick up off the straight just fine, despite the fact that I wouldn't have thought there's much difference. And secondly is I'm a little bit OCD, so I like having an even amount on both sides of the conveyor, and this way I've got perfect 2 on either side. Oh, you're still not going to collect it from there. No, you're not. Yeah. I always hate the ones at the end. Makes it sound like I've never done this before, doesn't it? I promise I have. I just don't save blueprints, so... Alright, let's go like that. This should definitely work. So those two are going to fight for a minute. This one's closer, so it's going to win. That's fine. Should, because there's a little bit of coal in that, it shouldn't have any issues with that. Should just start working. Alright, so I now have... almost have all of my science I need. I then need to make a lab. Yeah. And so therefore we can start doing science. And start moving forwards. So I should probably warn everybody, despite saying I'm quite OCD, I have no intention, at least early on, of doing this efficiently, or particularly efficiently. I will end up making a scramble base, just because I kind of enjoy making them. But I think by the time I get to 3rd tier of base, so the final one before switching to huge amounts of science, I will actually do it properly. I probably could just make more of those, couldn't I? Yeah. So now we play the waiting game again. Yeah. So after this, my goal is going to be to get the various furnaces automated. This is probably one of the bits I'll do somewhat efficiently, because I can't remember who. Might have been D. Gray, if anybody's heard of him. Yeah, if anybody's heard of him. I think I got it from him, and he got it from one of the speedrunners. But yeah, I do actually make... Go away, Pug. Arrays in a reasonably... or the furnace arrays in a relatively efficient manner. They get messy quite quickly if you don't, so I kind of tend to do it. But yeah, so these will get switched almost instantly to actual arrays, but for that I need a bit more power. Automation. So how much do I go? 5, 10. Bit more power. Right. 2. I don't need 2, but I'll delete the top one for now, so that it's not there. Basically I need more power because I need electric miners, and electric miners require quite a lot of power. It's always kind of shocked me how much they actually require. Right. I should keep all them going for a little while. It gets rid of all the stuff in my inventory. There's the first 5 done. I can just place these down, can't I? So these things start filling. yeah, I'll be first putting down electric miners on coal. Again, it's just for the notion of keeping this powered. Sometimes I put down some burner ones just as emergency backup. But honestly, how often I ever actually come across needing them is pretty rare. So I probably won't. It probably become more important thinking of things like that when I actually start running the thing 24/7 to actually generate resources. Come on. Yeah, power poles. They need to go down. That's why you're complaining. So I am just going to go back along here with some power poles. Stop just beforehand. I do love long reach at times. Let's do that number, so then I can put 8 down. 8 coal ones, and I'll make 8 iron ones after that. Probably need to up my amount of stone I am making, because I'm going to need quite a lot of furnaces soon. Let's go 3 stacks. Oops, didn't mean to put coal in that. Yeah, this bit's always the slow bit. Oh, am I like 1 short? Well, that's just frustrating. Well, it'll get made when it gets made. I do need logistics to be able to make the next stage. I guess I should also start stockpiling more conveyors. So I'm going to need those in quite significant quantities. Yeah, if anyone's never guessed, I've never ever got on the... Which one is it? Lazy Bastard achievement, that's the one. I sometimes think about it and I just can't be bothered. I've worked out how to do it, and... yeah. Not interested in actually physically doing it, I'm afraid. Cool. Right. Let's go plonk you down over there. There it goes. Alright. Should have enough miners now. I still need a bunch more of you. I am going to need a load of you. Sorry. And I'm going to need a load of inserters. Let's make a few of you. I may, between doing this again, I may just explore more of the area. We'll see. Right. So miners. I don't do these in probably the most efficient way. It's probably the most compact way. I say it's not the most efficient because it's probably resource a bit more heavy. But effectively miners can do an area one size bigger than them. So effectively getting them in the highest number in the smallest area means you mine faster, because it mine... yeah. So the most efficient way I found of doing that is to effectively use undergrounds to go between them. The reason for doing that is if I say... so the other option is... Well, let's explain. So the reason I do that is to get the power poles in the middle. Did that. Two. There we go. Yeah, the reason I do that is to get the power poles in the middle. Otherwise, you have to leave. So right now, I can stack these up right on top of each other, and there's no problems. But if I didn't have the power poles down the middle, you'd have to leave a gap between the next row, so you can't get them in quite as densely. So considering how this will end up, considering what stage of the game I'm at, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of just something I've done. Oh, there we go. There's the electric miners online. Yeah, because of how probably by the time we get to the 3rd generation base, I'll be using entirely the Omega drills, so all of the standard drills will become redundant. But it's going to take me a while to get to that stage, so they may as well stay. One of the other neat things I need to decide is exactly where I'm going to put all my furnaces. I guess I'll just put them over here. Yeah, that'll work. Copy. I haven't got nanobots yet, so I can't actually paste these properly, but whatever. 1, 2. And loads of conveyors. I should probably put you guys on my hotbar. I've put all those the wrong way around. No, I haven't. I've just placed them the wrong way around. Oops. Yeah. I'll even put things down straight. Right. Let's run some power up to these. Make sure I'm nowhere near capacity. Nowhere near. Good. It's actually probably a good point. I should probably look at putting one of the radar down, shouldn't I? Let's put a radar down. 2. Effectively, radars just allow... So, especially with the Factorio Reach, the radars just allow me to do things at a much greater distance. So if I really got in trouble, I could sort of mine wood somewhere on the map and dump it in via the map. So, another nice option is I don't have to actually move there to do anything, which becomes very powerful when we get full robot networks. But that's a way away. Right, what have I got? 13 of you. Let's pick up another bunch of them. I need inserters. I need a lot more inserters than that. Yeah. Iron production. Lovely. Yeah, this first scale up's always a bit slow. In fact, the entire first bit of the game gets slow. Eventually comes a point where it becomes resource rich, but it takes a while. I guess since I'm putting the... Oh, I get coal. So I'll put you down here. Alright, so I'm going to run coal line, which I'm going to use to feed the... actually, I shouldn't run it that far. I'm going to use to feed all the... actually, no, that's fine. It's probably alright. About there. So I'm making sure I don't cover up any of the resources. I probably, if I was thinking about it, started that a long way away. Here we go, but whatever. Don't care. Let me pick up all these coal miners since I don't need them anymore. I could probably speed my life up. Actually, put down these miners in the iron area. And then alright. There we go. Hopefully that should help me get me a bit more iron. And that should speed things up. So I need a bunch more review. Alright. So how do I build these? First start down with one of these. Let's start with that furnace. Let's get the names in correctly. Yeah. So, I build them in pairs of 2 with a power pole in the middle. I guess the slightly weird thing is that I don't... since you need coal to fire these, and you need your material on the lines, you would have thought you would need... That was because I haven't got any. But the trick to this is you actually feed the iron and the coal on the outer one only. The reason you can do this is... Well, make it easier when I actually build it, but I need some more iron for that. I need more conveyors. So the reason I'm doing a batch of the 5 is because then I start getting resources. I start getting them in much earlier. Yes, I could bulk make them, but there's no real benefit to it. So, yeah. Right. Let me make this and then I'll explain it. Because it's really hard to explain when I... Come on. Oops. I've just realised that was a stupid thing to do, wasn't it? Now I have to demolish this whole thing. One day, I'll actually make these in an organised way. But that will not be today. Partly because I'm tired and partly because it's quite late at night. And I'm really, really hot because the UK is suffering a heat wave right now. Or at least about to. Not that it's particularly hot compared to some countries, but it's damn hot for us. So, yeah. Right. So, conveyors. A yellow conveyor can take 15 items a minute. So 7.5 of those are on the left side and 7.5 are on the right side. So if you feed in 15 and then split it out to 2 7.5 lines, you make 15. So effectively this allows you to get away with putting down less conveyors. As much as I don't normally bother with that kind of stuff, I quite liked this one, so I did. No, wrong place. Wait. Power. A smart way would be go across, but let's go down. Oh. Alright, now I need to get... I'm going to leave a gap. Just because it makes it... It'll probably make things a little bit easier later. One of those things you learn about this game is always leave a little bit bigger gap than you need. Yeah, this should hopefully get us a steady supply of iron. I'll leave those just to burn themselves out. Ooh, wow, I'm getting a lot of resources all of a sudden. Yeah, let's put down first automation bits. Once we get it, I can because that way we can carry on our red sciences. Right. Come on. I'm going to place you over here. There we go. You know what, so let's move these somewhere else. Move closer to where I'm actually making stuff rather than being a million miles away. Right. So, I can't remember exactly whether or not I can do this. So I set that to red science, do a rate calculator, so I am making 6 per minute and using 4 per minute. I can actually do it. Woohoo. Right. 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't really need to separate these in the resources in separate boxes. Now I have... Oh, no. I always forget this step. Make these first. Yep, those. Cool. So I need twice as many iron. 6. 1, 2, 3. As I do copper. And that should get me a little bit of automated science. Because if I put 600 iron in, that should get me 300 red items, which should be enough to get me through all of my current queue. So yeah. The next thing will be to make this a little bit bigger. Let's go 2, 4. Afraid there's no fun way of doing this at the moment, so I'll just have to plod away and do it. Then run out of things. Let's put the power poles in while these build. If I was being OCD friendly, I should really put these power poles one further away, because the power lines will start crossing if I'm not careful with it. 2. There we go. Right. I can probably very happily decommission all these now. I'll leave it for now. What should I make next? I need more iron. Shock horror. Iron's always your issue at this point in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess I should make a copper version of this next. I guess I should also look up. Belts. 0.3. How many more of these do I need to get full? 2 more lots. Okay, not very many more. I'll do that. No. That's wrong. I need lots. No, yeah, scratch that. I need lots more than that. So I need 2 more lots to get half a belt, but I can make a full belt. So I need... However many that was. 1, 2, 3... 48. How many do I have? 16. Can't bother to do mental maths. 3 more. 3 times more than that. Yeah, let's ignore that for now. Right. Let's make myself a second one of these, shall we? So I should probably explain. The reason I just moved that is so I could place down a second one and only use a single underground. I have resources already. Actually, need 2 of those, do I? So I'll just start taking these up and throw in the coal. Losing them. Right. I guess my next array is going to be copper. So copy and paste one of these. Get down over here. And the power poles across. Yeah. Right. A few extra ones down. Those ghosts. Come on. Right. You can almost start building the next bit. Nope, wrong way. Wrong way. Right. 1, 2, 3. I've got bits for these. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just need more of these guys. Yeah, once I get a little bit of resources started, I can then finally make some actual automation, which would be nice, because handcrafting gets slow, as we're in that section now, where things just take a while. Where's my power grid holding up? Loads. Ew. Oh yeah, no, put me 5 pipes down, did I? There we go. Much better. I was thinking, I'm only using like 2 of them. Why were they pushing that hard? Let's see. Where else are we? Ah, come on. Right. challenging. Ooh, we've got nanobots. Come in, nanobots. So, anyone who hasn't used nanobots before? Well, I've gets through the queue and actually builds them or demonstrate them. Basically, it allows you to place anything from your inventory onto these blueprint locations. Yeah, that's pretty much all it does. Like I said, it just saves my hands just clicking that many times. Let's run these. I feel like that's going to collide with some of these trees. Hi, trees. Then on these advertisements playing a game, you get to kill trees in this one. And anyone who's played any survival games will understand exactly what that means. But yeah. Actually, already out. Yep. I feel like this is actually not working anymore. Yeah, that's not surprising. Steel obviously runs much quicker. Yeah, 5 seconds a shot. Oh well. Guess I'll just put down some more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, nanobots. I don't have to place stuff anymore. Well, I will do for a while because they take a while to get useful. Yay. So nanobot gun goes into one of your weapon slots. So once I've got some ammo for it, I can switch to it and start using it. Yeah. What are you doing that today? We need something later on. You're fine. I don't need more of you for a while. Although just because I'm OCD, I'm going to even out the number of furnaces I've got. Right. Nanobots. Unfortunately, I don't have the resources in my inventory to actually build the stuff, so I still can't show it. Oh well. Oh no, I do. Yeah, there we go. There's some undergrounds in my inventory, so undergrounds just get placed for you. The very early versions are really, really slow. They get much quite... Once you get to, I think it's 3 tiers into the research. 4 tiers, in fact. They actually get very useful. But with the extra roboports that I get later on in the game... Find one. That's the final tier. They basically become redundant again, because 250 robots in one unit over a huge area makes building much quicker. And I'll need that later on, because, yeah, things will get big. I'm not even sure it's physically big, it's just going to get spread out. So another thing about nanobots is they work in an order. So they'll go down in this case. But they work sort of across in rows like this. For the range that they can get to. So they'll be more visible when I get over to this side. So yeah, you can see they're going across and down. They really are a very useful thing. And very, very good on the laziness side. Do require ammo, so I always feel like it's actually a pretty good trade-off. You will burn through the ammo very, very quickly when you start getting on this. I need to make some more of that. because I think each one only has 10 ammo, and I think each ammo is a few nanobots. They don't last long. But as you can see, it's already massively sped up the speed at which you can build. Right. So, I'm actually going to change my mind about something and bring these out the bottom. The reason I'm going to do that is because I need to put such a large number of them forwards. I don't really know where that'll end. Because that third, that needs ×3, so it'll end up somewhere up here, and I don't really want to have to build conveyors all the way out into those trees. So yeah, I'm going to build them out south, and we're going to do this. Move you over to there. You over to there. Can I get lucky? Yes, I can. Yay. Actually fits perfectly. Right. These I can then use to start some actual automation. No, I didn't want that. So, where am I going to build my main bus? I'll build it across here. I guess since I've started here, I may as well carry on. So, a bus is just conveyors with resources on them. The whole idea is you build them straight out in a line. And just keep on going. The idea is off one side of them, don't do both sides. You build all of your manufacturing facilities and you then just convey whatever resources you need across and go up to wherever you need them. The reason you don't build both sides is because you will end up expanding this bus out and out and out and out. It depends entirely on how far you want to go. Yeah, and no matter how much space you leave before you start building, it won't be enough, and you'll end up just in a mess. Trust me, I've done it. It's not fun. Steel. I'm not going to do any steel yet. I don't need it yet. But steel is effectively a slightly modified version of these. I don't think there's actually any nice, truly neat way of doing them. But oh well. Those are full. Right. Just as a personal thing, I always put iron on the first line because iron's certainly in early game the one you're going to use the most. So the other thing for me is I tend to make sub-items as groups and put a line down the bus for them. You could make them at the location, and a few of them I do because you don't need them in large quantities, but things like iron gears, electronic circuits, you'll need in huge quantities, so it's worth just getting those up. Copper cables isn't worth it, and neither is iron sticks. The places you need them, just make them there. You can do it. It just, to me, it's a waste of resources to put the lines down, especially copper cables, because you get 2 copper cables for every 1. So if you put one yellow belt of copper into making them, you need 2 out, and therefore you got to transport twice as much stuff. Just don't think it's worth it. It's fine if you're stacking in like trains or anything, because the stack size is double for the copper cables, so it doesn't actually cost you any more space in a train. But yeah, for this kind of thing I wouldn't recommend it. So I need some more Fugo, some more of them. So first I'm just going to start off with iron gears. I'm going to start this a little way down so I have some space to put some more furnaces in. Iron gears always suck up far too many resources. It's ridiculous. I'm actually going to set it not to prioritize them. Sounds a bit weird, but overall I find it works better. Yeah. Oh, while I'm here, one of the other nice things about nanobots is they'll clear trees for you. Although it does cost the nanobots to do it, so certainly in early game I don't recommend you do it too often. Not until you get some automation running on them. Actually, I could just make a small automation thing for them first, couldn't I? Because they are what? Repair, packs, and sticks. Nah, I might as well carry on where I'm going for now. Right. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let me move those out a little bit further. Good tip, always leave a little bit more space than you think you need. I've built loads of these now, and I still do it. Alright, I also need some more of these. That one. So if you're wondering, I'm pressing left shift, and then right mouse to copy a recipe, and left mouse to place a recipe. Does look like I successfully stopped the any things from actually spawning. That'll be useful because it means that I don't have a performance glitch for them being on the map. A little bit annoying though that I can't show off the whistle stop factories to you. I'll have to creative some in. I'll have to get some in, let's say, and put them in a chest and just to show them off. But I'll do that another time. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Power. Right. That'll get us some gears. I'm just going to stick them on the end. Yeah. The millions of conveyors you need to set up a bus. There we go. You don't really need to keep them all in perfectly aligned. I do, just for slightly OCD reasons. Right. So, green circuits are a little bit more complicated to make. And you can physically compact them in a little bit more than this, but meh. Can't be bothered. I need to leave. Well, actually, I can do it. No, I can't. Right. So the recipe for these is copper cable and iron plates. The iron plates we've got off the map, so they need to come into these two. The copper cables make twice as well. So each factory can output 2 in half a second, and they need 3.5 seconds. You need 1.5 factory. So by combining this combination, you perfectly use up your copper cables into making green circuits. So put you up. 1 too far. There we go. I need copper up to here. I guess the other thing to point out is when making buses, make them a maximum of 4 wide. The reason for that is the undergrounds will jump 4. so you can jump resources over. The other thing is to make sure you leave a space of 2, and that's so that the undergrounds can keep jumping, because then you've got all the way across multiple rows. You also spend a lot of time doing stuff like this and getting it wrong. There we go. So that gets me my copper. Copper goes in like that. No, can't do that. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Right, and that will make me green circuits. Then just need to copy and paste that a couple of times. I'm out of you guys again. I'm actually going to turn off the nanobots for a minute because these conveyors are going the wrong way, and the nanobots will build them that way, which is a little bit annoying. Ooh. Need some more automation plants. So once I've done that, I can switch them back on. Yeah, basically what I was doing was turning them around. Rather annoyingly, you're not in line. I'm sure that's probably will annoy somebody. And I'm out of nanobot ammo. Don't worry, I'll get an nanobot ammo shortly. Actually going to put you like that. So the reason I did that was just to force the green circuits to come down this line to be on the inside, and therefore these ones that will come down here will be on the outside. Yeah, it's a very simple method of just load balancing. There are plenty of ways of doing it. Nah. It's not... It'll work for what we're doing. It's not ideal, because later on we'll end up effectively only being able to use one side of it, and that will put demand all on one side rather than on both sides of this production facility. Yeah. But it's fine for now. Come on. Almost there. We've almost got more nanobots. Yes, I could just build this manually, but sod that. When you get to automation, you never want to go back. So loads of resources on me. How many of these do I need for them? -2. Almost on the spot. This is part of the reason I like rate calculator, is I can just work out how many miners I need to power that many really easily. Because I've got unlimited resources on, I don't need to worry about them running out. So it's just a case of placing them. There we go. Oh, I ran out more nanobots. I told you these cartridges don't last very long. Sometimes you just need to wiggle yourself to get the nanobots to register that there's something to do. I assume that's just in the way they're programmed, and probably for an efficiency side of things. Hang on. I not took down all my... Oops. That wasn't very clever of me, was it? Right, more green circuits. And then I'm going to make myself some nanobots, because that'll annoy me very, very quickly if I don't I'm not going to make these efficient. It's just bluntly not worth it. So repair packs, iron sticks, and nanobots. Just needs gears and those, and that just needs that. I will very, very, very quickly end up making... what will I end up making? Something or other. No idea. Yeah. My first goal is to get all the basic production items down, so that will be... one. Belts, inserters. I'm actually less bothered about assemblers and electric miners right now. Though I do need to keep an eye on my production, my power production. How much coal do these use? Oh good, we got loads of excess coal production. That means we'll never run out of power. Right. So. Why did I do it like that? Alright. You guys need to go through like that. They need to go down, you need to go up. Right. So, we then need green circuits. Which I haven't done right. So not right. Oh damn, it's been a while since I made one of these. Right, there we go. There we go. So, like all I've done is put half of the materials onto each side of the conveyor, but this is where you end up into a situation where you can very easily only use one side of a conveyor, because this line here, which is fed by this outer section, is the one that will primarily be used. It'll only start using the inner line if it runs out of stuff on the outer line. And I need a chest. Alright. I'm going to put a very heavy box limit on these, because I don't want them making thousands yet. But yeah, that's the first one done. And I'm actually going to stop there for the night, because I'm starting to get tired, and it's finally cooling off. So, thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. See you again soon. Bye.